like a library. We are in the library building. This Bible is a library of 66 books inside. This is another Bible with a library of 73 books. That's also the Holy Bible. So you see, there is no such thing as Bible meaning one book. There are Bibles and Bibles, as you see. I have brought only 3 different types here, 4 actually. And they are all different. They are all different. There is no such thing as one Bible. So the first 5 books of this library, called the Bible, are named Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And these 5 books are supposed to be the books of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. They are supposed to be the Torah. But scholars, Christian scholars, they tell us, like in this one here, there are certain notes, additions, to explain the such situation about the value of this book. And in that, they give you that, look, these 5 books, where did they come from? Who was the author? So they will tell you here that Genesis, that's the first book of the Bible. Genesis is the first book of Moses. But the words first book of Moses are written in inverted commas. Exodus, the second book of Moses. The word second book of Moses written in inverted commas. Leviticus, third book of Moses in inverted commas. Numbers, fourth book of Moses in inverted commas. Deuteronomy, fifth book of Moses in inverted commas. So you ask the man, he says, why these inverted commas? Why are you putting these words in inverted commas? So if you know, if you don't know, you ask the person. He says, no, this is not what we say. We are only telling you what people say. People say that these are the books of Moses, but we, 32 scholars of the highest eminence in Christendom, backed by 50 cooperating denominations, they do not believe that these books are the books of Moses. Then why should you say these are the books of Moses? Why should you say this Torah when they themselves are not prepared to accept it? Who? The learned men of Christianity, not lay people, not ordinary people. And my friend Jimmy Swaggart, he says in one of his books, I have purchased some 30 different books of his to know. See, you must know your opponent. When you go into battle, you don't go with eyes closed. The Muslim is used to going eyes closed. He says, no, Allah is with us and Allahu Akbar, and he goes and gets killed. You must know what the enemy has before you go into battle. We don't do homework and we get hurt. Every time we get hurt. 1948, the Jews knocked hells into us. 56, they knocked hells into us. 67, they knocked hells into us. 73, we made a little effort. Had it not been for America going into direct intervention, we might have justified, our rights. But however, it didn't happen. But every time we go into battle, we go with our eyes closed. Allah is there. Allah is great. Allah is great. But He's telling you, prepare, prepare. Be ready. وَأَعِدُّوا لَهُمُ اسْتَطَعْتُم مِّن قُوَّةٍ. He said, get ready against them, your strength to the utmost of your power. وَمِن رِبَاطِ الْخَيْلِ, even including steeds of war. The most sophisticated weapons of the time. He's telling you, but we says, no, we are so many, we are 100 million. If you do such and such a thing, we can wash all the Jews into the sea. It doesn't work that way. It's had been proven again and again and again. It doesn't work that way. So, this man, writes brilliantly, he speaks, like a mesmerizer. He does mesmerize people. He says in one of his books that if we need factual information on any topic, we have to go to the experts. And he gives an example that if you want to know anything about geology, you go to the geologist. This is a beautiful principle. It's a fantastic principle. You want to know about Sharia, go to the man who knows Sharia. If you want to have some medical problem, go to the doctor. If you have some legal problems, go to the lawyer. Go to the professionals. So, if we accept that, and no hesitation, go to the experts. Now, the experts of Christendom, the experts of the Holy Bible, they are telling us that Moses didn't write these 5 books. But they don't tell you in those terms, because then they won't be able to sell the book. So they put these things nicely, silently in inverted commas. It's left to you. If you have knowledge about inverted commas, only then you catch the joke. Otherwise, you miss the mark. The internal evidence of the books also proves that Hazrat Musa alayhi salam didn't write them. I can go into endless discussions. I can draw your attention to numerous things, but I'll just give you two different places. One thing is that in these 5 books, no less than 700 times, you will read the expression, and the Lord said unto Moses, and Moses said unto the Lord, and the Lord said unto Moses, and Moses said unto the Lord. When you start just on the very superficial view of these phrases, you can understand that the Lord didn't write it, nor did Moses write it. See, it's third party. Somebody else is telling you what he has heard, maybe from hearsay. That you see, these were words given by God to Moses, and Moses again spoke like this and like that. If Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, Moses, if he had written these words, if he had noted them down, he would have said, and the Lord said unto me, and I said unto the Lord, and I spoke to the Lord, and the Lord said unto me. That's in the first person. This is somebody writing in the third person. That means, speaking from hearsay. So Allah didn't dictate it, nor did Musa alayhi salam write it. Very face of it. So can you blame the biblical scholars for telling us that Moses didn't write it? Put them in inverted commas. No, you can't blame them. Then in the last chapter of the last book, supposed to be the book of Moses, in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 34, we read about the obituary of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. Obituary, when a man dies, you put some nice, beautiful epithets on his tombstone. This here lies Mr. Ahmed Deedat, one of the great comparative study, scholars, students of religion, and so on and so on. You might put it after I'm gone. Obituary. So Hazrat Musa alayhi salam is supposed to have written his own obituary. Listen. It says, and there Moses died in the land of Moab. He died. He's alive, but he died in the land of Moab over against Beth Peor. And no man knoweth of his sepulchre unto this day. No man knows about where his grave is up to today. Is this man walking in flesh and blood? Is he telling you that his grave is somewhere and nobody knows where it is today, up to today? Did he write that? That he died when he's alive? Doesn't he know his language? That this is past tense, he's still alive, and he says, I died. Oh, he could have made a prophecy. Like, if I were to make a prophecy, I says, I'm going to all over the country. I will be visiting Washington, and I will die there in Washington, and Reagan will attend my funeral. Maybe it will never happen, anything like that. But can you see now, I can say that now. That I think, well, I had a dream, or somebody tickled me, and I heard some voices who say this is what is going to happen. I can tell you that I will die in Washington, D.C., and Reagan and Mrs. Reagan, they will attend my funeral. But, when I'm still alive, how can I say that I died in Washington, D.C., and Reagan was there? How can I say that? That I died when I'm talking to you now. I'm alive. Hazrat Musa alayhi salam could never have uttered those words, that he died. Then it says, and Moses was. This is simple grammar, simple basic English, And Moses was 120 years old when he died. Musa alayhi salam, he's telling you that I was 120 years old when I died, when he's still alive. And his natural powers had not abated. Physically, he was still fit. I think I'm fit physically. I'm 69. He was twice my age. But he was fit. The wordings convey that if he had another 16-year-old for a wife, he could have done justice to her. His natural powers, physical powers, sexual powers had not abated. He was still strong. Did Musa alayhi salam say that? No. You think he would talk like that? Telling people, he says, I'm still all right. No. These are not his words. And there arose not a prophet since in Israel like unto Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. Since in Israel. Since when? Did Musa say that? No. Can you see on the very face of it, these books are not the books of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. And hence, they are not the word of God.